Oh, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, drums. I wish I knew how to play the drums, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you. What's going on, baby boys, baby girls, ladies and gents? It is Monday. No, wait. Wednesday, baby. What am I saying? It's Wednesday, May the 25th, 2022. That's almost the end of the month. We're doing it. Thank you very much for whoever's been with me from the get-go. If you're just joining us today, go ahead and hit those subscribe buttons on the YouTubes. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also find these videos on Instagram, on Patreon. I'm all over the platforms. Just spreading all over the platforms, baby. That's what we do around here. Thank you very much. Sending everybody positive thoughts, positive energy, good vibrations only. It is Wednesday. We're rocking and rolling. Been writing, been thinking, getting ready. Been sending emails, trying to book a spot. That's what it is. That's all I does. Let's get into it, man. I don't know what you guys are up to. I don't know what you gals are up to, but it's good to be alive. I know that. And if you're alive and kicking, keep on rocking and rolling in the free world. And most of it's free. Really, nothing is free, but you know what I'm saying. It's fairly free. Let's keep it loose, baby. Let's keep it loose. It's Wednesday after all. Okay. It's Wednesday vibes. That's what it is. Let's get into it. Been writing, been thinking, trying to refine things, see if I can use, come up with some new jokes, some new ideas. So let's go through it. We're going to read a little bit and then we're going to just let loose and play with it. Hypothetical scenario numero uno. What's better? All right, fam, what is better? Finding out there are more intelligent life than us out there, or finding out we're the smartest in the multiverse. What's better? Let's break it down. I've written out some ideas. But if we were to let's just think about it. If we find out today, or yesterday, or tomorrow, that we are the most intelligent life out there, let's start off with the one that we're not the most intelligent. Let's imagine we find out, we're not the most intelligent species out there in the multiverse. What are the repercussions of that bad boy? What are the pros and cons? Okay, the great thing about finding out there is more intelligent life out there than us. I don't mean just like, I'm talking more intelligent. Whatever we are, higher than this. So if anybody's out there higher than this, it's a little bit nice. It's a little bit nice because you can lay back, you can relax a little bit. Finally, you're like, all right, well, I guess everything's good and we're in good hands. So, all in all, it feels like there's a caretaker watching or, at least observing. And there's a little bit of comfort in that because you can just drop everything and be like, hey man, if somebody's out there watching my back, someone's out there who's got my six, I can just get back to the old sucking and fucking, which is, that's a solid game plan for the human species, the sucking and fucking, which is nice. So, if somebody else is out there doing, and that's the thing, if you're like, if they're more intelligent, why, I'm not debating nothing with nobody. I'm not into debates. I'm all about ideas and just, we pour a little heart out and open up the old mind, just let stuff come out and see what happens. If there's anything else other than us that's more intelligent, it's a little bit of a relief, because like, all right, well, great. All the responsibility doesn't fall on your shoulders or our shoulders, let them take care of it. Maybe we're just, we could be, and you're like, if they're more intelligent, why don't they like, and the old question, are we fucking or are we fighting? And maybe none of the above. Why is it always got to be fucking and fighting? Can it just be, do we fucking fight fish? Well, sometimes in different ways. I mean, we don't necessarily go out there fucking fish. I mean, there have been times. I mean, there have been numerous tales about sirens call you out, and you're like, oh, what is that? What is that? Half fish, half tits? What is that? Is that on the new? Is that a new item on the menu? What is that? And then they're singing and they're enchanting, and then all of a sudden you're jumping off the ship and you're swimming, baby. You're swimming. The sirens are calling you, flashing you. They got beads around. It's like Mardi Gras. They're flashing them tits, wiggling that tail, and you're too bamboozled by the tits and the bejeweled neck. So you're not paying attention to the fin whatsoever. You're like, all I see is tits. Which, man, pay attention, because that's life altering. So have we, and that's just fucking, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you end up with Aquaman and women, which is a whole nother thing of its own, and then you got to decide: are you going to be spending time down here on Earth? Are you going to be a land person? Or are you going to have to, adapt to water? How's it going to go down? Your kids are going to be all right. They're going to probably be able to breathe underwater. But as for you being a devoted family member and showing up underwater, I don't know how that's going to work out. But nonetheless, that's the fucking side. And then the fighting side, well, we've been fighting fish all our lives, for most of our lives. Big fish, giant fish. I'm talking Finding Nemo. I'm talking, going into the belly of the old sperm whale, going into the belly of the white shark, going into the belly of the hammerhead shark, grappling with a damn dolphin. You're grappling with a dolphin. Next thing you know, they're trying to grab a hold of you, and they're getting feisty. They're getting handsy. They've been known to do that. Apparently they're into that. So be careful. That's what it is. But sometimes we just get the koi fish. Sometimes we just get the goldfish and we just let them swim, and that's all it is. It's not, we're not fighting, we're not killing. It's not for food, because it's like, who wants to eat a koi fish, or who wants to eat a damn goldfish? You know what I mean? So we're not necessarily fighting or fucking. At that point, we're just observing. It's not like we need anything from them. It's not like you're gonna go up to them and be like, hey, I'm gonna need your water source. I'm gonna need some petroleum. I'm gonna need some of this. I'm gonna need some of that. It's none of this. None of that. It's mostly, hey, you look cool. I'm gonna, observe you in a little pond, or put you in a little fish bowl of sorts, or just, get a translucent loose plastic bag and just put a couple of damn goldfish in it and just walk around. Do you spend time walking your fish? Maybe that's why they're barking all the time. You know what I mean? Spend a little bit of time. That's all there is to it. You get more into it, and then you start exploring with octopuses, and that's, talk about intelligent life, right? So there's all sorts of things we do, but our perception is that if we make contact, or at least in my mind, it's always like that, like, oh, are we fighting, or are we fucking? Are we, what are we doing? How are we going to integrate? Maybe they're so advanced that they don't even want to, we're goldfish to them. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they don't want to do anything. Because that's the thing. If you've mastered the art of time traveling, space-time travel, let's just put it that way, probably not going to be dependent on some, as special as we are and as special as our blue little marble is. I don't think if you've mastered the art of space-time travel, I don't think you're going to be dependent on some, let me come get some petroleum from you. Let me get some gold from these guys. Let me see what I can trade. I don't think they're into barter and trading much. I don't think they're, probably fascinated a whole lot, because it's life. It's, game recognized game, baby. That's what it is. They see life. They see life. They live life. So that's probably nice and neat. So shout out to everybody out there potentially just, watching from above or something, or from below. Who the hell knows? Maybe they're just, your next door neighbor. You don't even know. Maybe it's a costume, dude. You know what I mean? One of those neighbors with the always wearing multiple layers, even in summer. Who knows what's underneath all the layers, man? But what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, which is better though? Which is, if it comes down, which is better? Finding out that we are top dog in the multiverse, like that's the shit, that we're running shit, is that more of a relief? Because we're like, oh, if we're the ones in charge, if we're large and in charge, we're gonna get, we're in good hands. Let's drop everything, get back to the fucking and suck it, is what you'll say. Because like, if anybody's gonna be fucking and suck it, it's gonna be us, because we're in charge. That's what it is. There's nobody else out there. And you know, whatever we do, it's just as long as you have fun at that point, and as long as you try a little bit. That's pretty much what I can gather. But if there's other people or other species out there, it does relieve a little bit of stress or a little bit of that, oh, the responsibilities of life. Because that's what it is. It's not even just like, if you find out it's just us, it's not just we're responsible for our life. Now we become like, you know, oh man, great, gotta take care of all these animals and rodents and insects and, you know, everybody, everything. That's, you know, a lot of responsibilities. Which is better? I don't know. I don't know. Or could it just be intelligence? And it's like, you know, what if they're not more intelligent? You know what I mean? What if they're intelligent but they're not like? What if they're just like us, give or take, a little bit, you know, better here, a little bit worse there? And I'm fascinated. I'd like to obviously be able to find out more, but who knows? As time progresses, we might find out more. We might run full circle and be like, no, that's as much as we know so far. So, but I wonder, well, how do you gals feel? Do you want to be the sharpest tool in the tool shed in the multiverse, or no? Do you prefer to have somebody who's got it down? You know what I mean? Every couple of thousand years, they come in, they drop a couple of tools, and then all of a sudden we just start exponentially getting better at shit. Potentially, who knows? Who knows? What do you guys want? We'll make it happen, baby. Because in these videos, in this session, this gang, we take care of everything. Gonorrhea, took care of it. Diabetes, type 1, type 2, how many types are there? Beat it. Hepatitis, we now only give hepatitis to the kids. If you're an adult, you're safe. Them kids, can't speak for the kids, but you know what it is? What else did we took care of your damn, you know, you pull a back muscle, we got you. You push a back muscle, we got you, you know? So that's what we do around here, because this is a family, this is a gang, it's a worldwide syndicate, it's small, it's underground, even though we're above ground, but it's the way we like, Sid, baby, somewhere in the middle, just floating, navigating life, or at least trying to, showing up, goddammit, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday showing up. That's what it is. Sip to the gang. So that was our hypothetical scenario of the day. Yeah, option A, we're the dum-dums. Option B, we find out there are higher forms of dum-dums above us. And which is better? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe build a wall. Maybe build 2 walls. Maybe we get together and build all the walls. Next item on the agenda, not that there is ever an agenda up in this bitch. Crucifying Jesus must have been a pain in the butt. Let me read this out loud and then maybe we'll get a little bit free-flowy about it. I bet the whole thing was a show and even Jesus was in on it. Think about it, fam. Who's the most chill guy in history, right? Jesus. He was a type that said yes and. Jesus was a yes and type of fella, you know what I mean? He wasn't gonna be like, no, why not? He's Jesus. He wasn't a cockblock is what I'm trying to say. Why would he be? Son of God, God, the Spirit himself. You think you can cancel Jesus? Come to think of it, people ask when and where did the cancel culture begin? I'd say Jesus was probably the first attempted cancellation, and well, look how that turned out. The Bible, #1 bestseller worldwide to this date. So literally changed nothing, and it's crazy too. It's like the same material, word for word, no new jokes, killing it. But back to our story, man. Group of people come up to Jesus on the street corner where he usually hang, and they'll say, listen, Jay, we've come to tell you something. We've come to tell you that we're gonna have to crucify you. Jesus wouldn't even think twice about it. He's all like, great, awesome, love a good crucifixion sesh. It's been a while. What are you guys thinking? Like, what are we doing? Jesus would ask. Or are we talking like a half a day sort of thing? We make it a potluck lunch. I make a mean egg salad. Or can I also bring a fish? You know? They're all like, see, here's the thing. You're real cool and all, but there's been word from upstairs that you got to go. This is what the people said to Jay. Word from upstairs? Did my dad call? Is what Jesus would say. And they're like, no, Jay. We're talking about downstairs, upstairs. Down here, upstairs. And then Jesus would be like, oh, so you meant to say just downstairs then, because upstairs is something else. But so you got a call from downstairs. Yes. Well, word from downstairs is that people love you too much, man, and nobody listens to the king, and he's losing his street cred. And you know how he gets when it comes to his street cred. He's a little bit, a little bit sensitive about his street cred. Jesus is all like, no worries, say no more. Whatever makes everybody happy, I'm game. That's what Jay said, according to historical records and facts, of course. So this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to let you crucify me, and I'll act as if I'm in pain and leave me be there for like a couple of days, a few days. I want to really get into it, get into the role, get into the mindset, get into the psyche, put myself in it, really try and be as organic as I can be. They're all like, great. That's fantastic. Great. Everybody's like, great. No problems. They put the cross on Jay's back, and it's lightweight, baby. I know you've been to the theme parks. I know you've seen the movies. I know you've heard stories. But when they put the cross on his back, we sometimes forget, but we're talking about God, the Son of God, the Spirit, the Holy God, the whole trifecta of like godnessness, goodness, himself. He's the man, right? So you're like, oh man, he's walking with this cross, and it must be heavy. It's God, baby. It's lightweight. He's making it so that it's relatable, And so that's how it went down. But they put the cross on Jay's back, lightweight, baby. He's all like, let's go for a hike. Let's go for a hike. I got a leg day today anyway. I'll work up a nice sweat, glistening, shining. He's walking, sweating, all ripped, 6, 7, 8, 9 packs, just the way Jay did it, right? And they get to the mountaintop, they're all like, okay, put down the cross and lay on it. Jay's all like, aight. He gets on his back, and they wanted to first tie his wrist and ankles, and instead he came up with the idea. He's like, hey, fellas, it's rumor has it I'm kind of good with the old woodwork. Why don't you go ahead and grab a couple of nails and a hammer, and let's make this a show. Let's make this an event for the people. Go ahead and nail my palms to the cross. Same with my ankles, dude. Go ahead and and they're like, whoa, Jay, what are you saying, man? And he's like, do you forget who I is what he said to the peepsies? And he's like, don't worry about it. I won't feel anything. He's like, trust me, it's going to be a thing later on too. People are going to call it magic, and you're going to I'll tell you where to puncture the hole. I won't feel a thing. It's going to, it might bleed over the next couple of days a little bit. It'll be a thing. The people will lose their minds. And take me down in a little while, and, I'll dippy. I'll be back in like 3 days. No problemo. So that's how it went down, man. That's what he said, He's all, and Jay was all like, Jay was probably like, according again to historical facts and everything, I'd say Jay was probably a little bit punk, a little bit metal. That's hence he was more punk and more metal than Jay, dude. Just fucking, just all crossed out and nothing happens. Fucking comes back resurrected, just working out at the local gym, pumping iron. dressed up as a lamb or something, and you're like, oh, what a cute lamb, or is it? Yeah, it is. It really is. So that's where I was going with that, baby. I'm trying to think about how the wording goes. I don't even know if I'll use this on it, but at least it's a story that we get to share, and I don't know how to gauge it because literally there's no audience here. So if you like the story, fucking sweet, and if you don't like it, it's difficult for me to tell because like you're not here, man. I'm gonna just go off based on what I feel down here and in here, and we'll see if we'll keep it or we'll change it. I don't know. We'll see. Next item. Now I wrote a little piece about this next item, and then also I wrote so this next little joke or story will be a story, but it can also be summed up into literally maybe a sentence, maximum 2 sentences. But I wonder what has the most comedic effect, and I'm learning, baby steps, one day at a time. Let's go through it. Let's roll through it, and then we'll see which one you guys prefer better. Okay. We're gonna do the story version first, and I'll come back with the 1 sentence, right to the point. And you tell me. You guys let me know in the comments. Comment below, comment above, comment in between, comment in the videos and comment, baby. So I'll read it. You guys let me know what you think. If you like, of course, and if you just want to watch the videos and talk about it with your family and friends, who am I to judge? In a magical land far, 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 far away, a beautiful people were held captive in their magical world. The rulers of this magical land were evil rulers, like the type that'll kidnap you, or the type that'll kidnap your family members, or your friends, or your pets. They'll go full circle and even kidnap themselves and bring you the ransom. These guys are nuts. They use a religion called pay attention to the because the wording is essential in all of this. These guys are nuts. They use a religion called Islam, spelled Eyeslam. Islam. Yeah. As a way of shielding themselves and hiding their blatant acts of hate and injustice behind the guise of religion, custom, culture, and tradition. Some of these guys. Now, there are tons of people who practice Islam correctly, just like any other religion, on their own time, in their own homes, and in their designated places of worship, and they don't tell others how to live their lives. These Islams are good Islams, or practitioners of the Islams, Now, in this magical world, the evil rulers have recently declared their female news anchors to cover their faces with a mask while telling the news. Enter hardcore Islam. In hardcore Islam, there isn't a whole lot of wiggle room when it comes to women's rights. Heck, even most dudes aren't safe, but it's better to be a dude, so, As an objective viewer observing from afar, I'd say the evil rulers of the magical land are in fact gay. Think about it. They don't want women to show their face. Must mean they prefer to look at dudes, and well, that's gay. That's how far I got with it. But this again, longer story. I could just cut to one short line, and potentially we could have just, I could have just gone with this. Just this. The Taliban is gay. The Taliban is gay. They don't want to see women's faces, men's only, gay. That's the vibe that I'm getting. That's what I'm seeing, and that's what I heard, man. I think it's, you read things, you hear things. You've done a little bit of, you go around the world a little bit, you're like, man, things be weird in some places. You feel for peepsies. But at the same time, you're like, man, are these guys consciously or subconsciously just trying to manifest more more and more gayness in their culture. Like, oh no, it's boys only club. Don't want to see your face, ladies. Who doesn't want to see ladies? The gays. I love my gays too, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's confusing. It's just mixed signals is what I'm getting. So I don't know. Which one do you guys prefer? Which one do you gals prefer? The long version? The one where we like, oh, or the right to the point? Right there. Tight, tight, tight. Tight, tight. Tight. Yo, that's what I'm sensing, dude. If you're gay, I think they're throwing it down, and the Taliban is throwing it down, dude. I think that's pretty much like the next big. I think it's gonna be like Burning Man for, parts of the Middle East, and there you'll probably might even run into a couple of people who burn a man or two, just for the fuck of it too, Shit happens. It's weird. But also, is it, you know what I mean? Are they trying to advocate for, are they trying to say something without saying something? Am I reading the message between the lines correctly? Is the Taliban gay? Do they want to be full like, men's only club, boys only? Their outfits need a little bit of, the women's, they've got it down. They're coming down with that BDSM energy, cover it all. Very much like and it's funny, you draw parallels because like now you're like, oh, women's rights, some might say. Remove the masks. And some of those same people like a few months ago, they were like, oh, put on a mask. You're like, oh, and you're out there being a woman, and you're like, or a man at that rate, and they're like, oh, see, for the greater good. See, for the greater good, and that's the same logic. So it's a little bit of that paradoxical thinking. You run into, not really, because in both cases, just like respect individual rights, but there's a couple of jokes in there. I gotta polish it up somehow. But yeah, man, the outfits could use, in terms of the Taliban being the gayest. Could they be the gayest? I don't know. Their outfits could definitely use a little bit, Get loose, baby. If you're gonna go all boys, no women's, why are you guys dressed to the gills, baby? I say, drop it like it's hot, you know what I mean? And you want to get your message across. Come out there looking, you're in the Middle East, dude. Like, why are you wearing so many layers? Ugh. No wonder why you're so frustrated all day, every day, dude. Must be thirsty as fuck. It's dehydration, essentially. I think it's the sun. You know what I mean? Get some water in yous. But they're out of, that's some people, unless, like, I don't know, are they gay? Or are they, like, super into, like, women to the point where they can't, like, control themselves? And if they see a lady with, like, oh, you're showing lady, and any parts, you're showing lady parts, and they just fucking, like, ejac right there. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, I can't contain ejac right there. Why? There's a lady. Whose fault is it? It's the lady's fault. Ejac. I'm sorry, lady. You and that's they probably wouldn't even say they're sorry. That's what it is. Like, oh, yeah, it's. And I heard in this news article, so in Afghanistan, unfortunately, there's evil fucking Taliban doing Taliban shit, which is weird. But and then the people are like, I feel bad for the peepsies. Because, I think the news anchors, the ladies were told to wear a face covering if they want to tell the news. And in a form of response or a protest, the fellas also put on a face covering as a form of protest, which I get and again, this is one of those circumstances where I'm an observer and like it's so easy for me to sit here all free and be like, oh, take it off. flash a couple of tits. It's easy for me to say that. It's easy because yeah, but it's difficult. How would you fight that if you were, if you're a fellow who feels like, oh, I got to stand up with my sisters? And I think you all should just, as a, it's risky business because these guys are wild. So, repercussions be heavy and stuff. But, what do? Do you go, oh, I'm protesting too. Do you cover up? Because I think that'll just, I, I, I see how you're trying and like good on you for trying. But as a form of protest, I would have been like, let's everybody remove more clothing items. That would have, but then again, I'm not in that position. I'm not taking that risk because you know what, you lower a little headscarf or some. Next thing you know, again with the kidnappings and the limbs go missing and the torture and the who knows all sorts of aggro behavior. But all in all, like, and I think you gotta stand your ground at one point too. I think you gotta stand your ground and just be like, you know what, fuck it, tits out, because that's how you get freedom, baby. That's how you get freedom. And peepsies, sometimes you gotta just fucking flash a couple of tits. Fellas, drop your pants if you have to, or something. Think outside the box is what I'm trying to say. I don't think the whole covering. I think they're more into like if the fellas cover up, they'd be like, okay, more covering, great. But then that goes against their gay sentiment, which is so they're probably not going to be happy about that either. It's really hard to keep these guys pleased at the end of the day. It's just a bunch of, it's the heat, man. That's what it is. If these guys were allocated to a colder place on the planet, I'd say quickly that they dropped their, points of concern or what's high up on the agenda in terms of like, what do we need to take care of? Anyway, so which one do you guys prefer better? The story or the Taliban is gay, they don't want to see women's faces, men's only club, sort of, there's something in there. All right, next item on the list. Do you ever imagine what life would be like if you were, because it's so easy to just see it from, you're detached. Do you ever wonder what it would be like to be the genital warts on someone's genitals? You know what I'm talking about? Because it's so easy to just like distance yourself from that and be like, oh, what is that? What's a genital wart? But what if we make a movie or a story from the perspective of the genital wart, and you're like, who's gonna play it? I don't know, but good question. But the psyche of the genital warts, you first gotta find like a little patch of, you gotta find a bush, dude. You gotta find a bush, and you gotta just land there, and you gotta set up his spot. And like you're alive. You're expanding. You're probably causing a little bit of itchiness, a little bit of dryness. You're out there trying to multiply, you're causing a rash, you're getting red, you're getting tense, you're rising up, you're bubbling perhaps. There's pus being built up right underneath the skin, right underneath that top layer of skin, and there's a bubble forming, there's a pimple forming, there's pus waiting to be popped and just ever so slowly just ooze out of the hole that's been punctured in your skin. But what's it like? Because that's the thing, it's got a life of its own, right? It's like, oh, okay, okay, now we're the wart. I'm so happy. Okay, I'm the wart. I drop it on your crotch, dude. Ladies, I'm right there. Genital warts, right there. I'm there. I show up. Hey, Tuesday morning. Howdy there. How's your day going? I'm looking at you from below. I'm like, how's it going up there? Winking at you. Winking and just like oozing pus, dude. Just oozing pus and winking. Hey, how's it going upstairs? And you wake up, you're like, oh my God. Should I wear them condoms? That's what you'll say. Fucking genital warts, baby. I'm on your legs right now. I'm there. I'm like, hey, how's it going? You're like, it was going pretty well until you decide to show up. I'm like, I know, aren't you happy I'm here now? Here now, baby. I'm on ya. And then you're like, it's fine. The more the merrier. But my day would have been just fine if we hadn't met, if we hadn't had this encounter. Would have been just fine and dandy. But now that you're here, what have we got to do? You know? And then the upstairs, the person's now having conversation with them. Oh, I'm itchy. I gotta go see a doctor or a pharmacist. So he or she gets up and now they're driving to the pharmacy to see their pharmacist or doctor. A pharmacist by the name of, in the pharmacy there's a pharmacist, their name is Dr. Help Me. Yeah, that's right, somebody named their baby Dr. Help Me. That's someone's name out there. Put some respect on it. Dr. Help Me is a pharmacist. I know, you're like, oh, it would have been obvious if they went to straight medical school and did like the whole doctorates, got their doctor, and they're pretty much doctors, almost. Not the same, but they're knowledgeable, high knowledge. They're high and they're knowledgeable. So you get there and you're like, hey, doctor, is pharmacist Dr. Help Me around? And they look around at you and they're like, what's the case? What's the emergency? Why are you here? And you're like, I got a personal medical condition that I need to discuss with my pharmacist, my local pharmacist, who goes by the name of Dr. Help Me. And they're like, hold on a sec. And they page him, Dr. Help Me. Dr. Help Me to the front counter, please. Dr. Help Me to the front counter, please. Now everybody in Shoppers Drug Mart is looking around. Well, what's going on? Why is Dr. Help Me being paged to the front desk? You know, and then there's a lady just like working behind the pharmacist counter. She's stacking pills, she's chopping pills, she's grinding, she's sniffing, she's fucking doing it all, baby. Also, chewing gum, blowing bubble gum, leaning over the counter, blowing bubble gum, looking at you, just waiting for Dr. Help Me to get there, find out what's wrong with you. Dr. Help Me arrives like, how can I help you? And by this time, now let's retract back to where the warts again, baby. I'm the warts right now. What I like to be able to do is multiply and expand, multiply and expand, multiply and expand, so that I can, that's what it is. That's what I does. Get more pink, get more red, get scaly, baby. More oozing, more pussin', more pussin', more oozing. Just wink, wink, oozing, pussin'. Fucking, it's moist, but it's sticky too. It's all your favorite elements brought into one experience. So you're like, man, down there has been burning, pharmacist Dr. Help Me. I think I got me a rash or something. And he's like, well, let's have a look there. Let's have a look. Because I wouldn't be able to, first of all, I'm not a doctor. I know my name's Dr. Help Me, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm going to have to ask you to pull down your pants. And you're like, right here in the middle of the Shoppers Drug Mart. And for those of you who don't know, it's a Canadian pharmaceutical, them boys, them big boys that has got them drugs on the chains, because they're a chain. Are they a chain? It's like a franchise. It's a brand. It's Shoppers Drug Mart is your local pharmacy that's everywhere. They're the provider. They're Dr. Feelgood essentially. You know what I mean? You want a little aspirin, you get in there. You want a little bit of Plan B in there. Plan C later in there. You know what I mean? All the plans in there. They got the baby bottles. They got the shakes. It's a guy in there just fucking shaking, dude, out of control. wrong place, wrong time. The rave is next door. But the point is, doctor helped me, pharmacist doctor helped me. He's like, hey, you got to drop them pants. So you dropped the pants and you wished for this whole experience to go down as discreetly as possible. But now, right now, you're getting a live feedback description of what the circumstances at hand are. Now he's spitballing ideas back with the gal behind the counter who's been chewing on that pink bubble gum, blowing bubbles, looking at your wiener that just swelled up and oozing and pussing. And what do you think it is? I don't know. Looks like a mild STD or like a mild, STD, or that's pretty much it. That's the conclusion. And pharmacist doctor help me will be all like, hey, to the lady behind the counter, hey, could you get us that ointment for the STD, all loud? And then she goes on the speaker, she puts the order in. I would need a big jar of STD ointment. How much do we need? She's like, all the milligrams and milliliters, fill it up. So she's on the speaker now, putting in the call, a large order of STD ointment. And you're there just like, all right, can I pull my pants up? And sure, now you can pull your pants up. And you wait 10-15 minutes. You're doing a little loop-de-loop around shoppers. You're just like, oh, that dude that you saw earlier pull down his pants wasn't me. Who's that fella? Was that fella weird? And 10-15 minutes goes by. They finally call you back. They're like, oh, come on to the counter, pick up your STD ointment for your potential genital warts, because customer with the genital warts ointment, come to the reception, please. And you're like, there is no reception, it's just a counter. Come to the reception, please. And you go there, and now there's like 3-4 other people behind a counter. Everybody's just like, do we have this gentleman's STD ointment lotion for his genital warts? And they go back and forth, confirm. 3-4 people just confirming with each other. Oh, here's the genital warts ointment cream. And they're just like, who's this genital warts ointment cream for? And they're pointing, I think it's for that. Yeah, it's for that fella right over there. Like one of them's on the speaker still, right over there. And it's just echoing through shoppers, right over there. And it's like, it's a whole experience, but I wanted to, mostly get through how does it feel to be the actual warts, because like there you are planning to get rid of it. There it is trying to multiply. So, it's a limited lifespan. It's kind of like a life of a bug or like a fly or, it's beautiful, but it's, it's very short. It's really short. It's only like, a few days max. If you let it go, it could be days turn into weeks, turn into months, turns into a lifetime illness. Take care of it, whatever it is. God. So wrapping it up always helps. Other than that, I can tell you that, from the warts perspective, it's genital warts are the rock stars of diseases, essentially, because they live fast and die relatively young. Relatively. The tech is getting good. And with the help of the tech, we can have genital warts that'll last a lifetime. Like our rock stars. Yeah. 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 Fucking genital warts, baby. That's what it is. Hope you guys are all itchy and scratchy. I'm joking, of course. Take care of it, whatever it is. Go old school, baby. Just, rip up a couple of damn leaves from some tree and just put it on top. Oh, that's poison ivy on my genital warts. It's making it far worse. Lessons learned, isn't it? And we're stronger for it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for joining me every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday of every week, from the dawn of time till the time doesn't end, does it? We're just going to be here, out there, on the stage, in the medicine cabinet, just hanging from the ceiling, in the drive-through, behind the line, in front of lines, frontlining it, and being supportive of each other. I support you 100%. Whatever you're doing in life, put your minds and hearts and imaginations at work. Get rid of all the negative energy, however you can. If you gotta get in there. If you gotta get in there with the introspection, do it. If you've done introspection, you're like, all right, let's get it moving. Enough of the introspection, baby. That's cool too. You start banging things out on the physical realm. And the next thing you know, things are manifesting in your life. Next thing you know, all your pains and aches are just disappearing. Where they go? I don't know. Where did they go? You started doing things. No more pains, no more aches. Now, a new week is coming. I'm in contact, been making contact. Hopefully I'll be up again next week. I'm hoping, I don't know, waiting, fingers crossed, also working on materials. So, life is exciting, life is good, feeling great. Want to send out positive energy and love to everybody. I cannot emphasize this enough, and I say this so I hear it out loud, and I want everybody else out there hearing it. Love yourself and love each other, and be nice to yourselves, be nice to each other. These are all the basics. If we can just, get the basics, and the rest are just like, man, the Taliban's being gay. You know what I'm saying? So the rest of it's just going to take care of itself. I hope, I think. It will, God damn it. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we come back higher. They go lower, we come back higher. They go even lower, we go higher. Lower, higher. Higher. Real high. And we keep it tight. That was a close call. The dangerous life of a storyteller, you never know. I just had a close encounter. For those of you who aren't, you might not be able to see this, but I just fought off one hair strand was about to go right in there and the old eyeball. But that's what I does. I stay ahead of it. The second I see it, I nipped it in the bud. I'm like, no way are you gonna get in there and impact my eyesight, hair follicle. Thanks. Fall in line, baby. You know where it's at. Stay on the head. Where are you going? Do not tread on these eyeballs. Do not tread on me, my eyeballs, hair follicle, or else shit would go down, dude. You don't want to see me lose it, man, or gain it. You don't want to see me in the center of things, just holding everybody, hey. I cool at everyone. Right there in the center. Everybody sit chill. That's what it is. This has been another So-So production. This is Glad You Made It once again with your boy Rob Sadri. Doing it, no big deal. Where can you find these videos? If you've been with me, you can find these videos on Instagram, on YouTube for the long format, and on Patreon. If you're just joining us, if you like these videos, it means that I'm doing a decent job. I'm trying to make it better, obviously, every day. Come in here with a good energy. Give the people what they likes. And yeah, if you like the videos, super. If you don't, super. But if you're like, man, how can I help out? If you'd like to help out, a simple click on the old subscribe button. I'll be very clear. It'll help your boy out if you click on the subscribe button on the YouTubes, because that way the algorithm gets triggered, it gets emotional, starts picking up things like, what's this guy saying? And next thing you know, your boy has a chance to compete with the big fellas and the big ladies who are tight-knit with the corporations, who got the funds. Because boys and girls, ladies and gents, in case it is, again, if you've been with me from the get-go, but if you're not with me from the get-go, if it's your first time joining us, I am an independent, I'm your independent captain, baby. I'm that independent bad boy captain from the streets on the highest of underground levels, doing it independently. There's no, this is it. You guys are my viewers. You guys are also my producers. You guys are also my checkpoints, you know what I mean? Because we check in on each other. I see how you're doing. I check in on you. You check in on me. That's why you get in there and leave a comment, and I read that shit. If it's like something I can use, be like, all right. If it's, if it's not useful, then I'll be like, all right, I'm not gonna check that. But most of the times I post in Ghost. But if it's something of value, definitely. Other than that, it is a grassroots operation. It's a one-man band. It's a one-man operation. So yeah, all your love and support would go a long way, and it's highly appreciated. Sending all that love and support right back at you, whatever you're doing. I wish you all the best of luck, and I wish you longevity and health and wealth and prosperity. And until Friday, go and bang one out with the old, with the old partner. And that's what it is. Ever since these, you're like, man, I've been getting, I've not been getting any real fake letters or phone calls, but people have been sending potentially real fake letters and phone calls, like saying, "Oh, thanks, man." Ever since the videos have been coming out, me and the old wife have been doing extra oral sex thanks to the videos, and our marriage has never been tighter. It's tight, 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 tight. And you're welcome. You're welcome, Tyler. Leslie also wrote a real fake letter, email, phone calls. She said, man, my yeast infection, thanks to your recommendation of me ingesting a lot of cranberry juice, has just disappeared. And I'm like, you're welcome, Leslie. Keep at it, baby. And also, time and again, it's just good to see a doctor. So, we're all just pulling it together tight. I'll be back here again on Friday. Spread the word. Have fun. Peace.